Welcome. Buenas tardes. It's such a pleasure to be with you guys. My name's Antonio Felix, and I'm currently the director of the Catholic Teacher Preparation Programs at Loyola Marymount University within our School of Education. Prior to my work at Loyola Marymount University, I was a Catholic school teacher and principal in the Archdiocese of Los Angeles for almost 15 years, where I started as a substitute teacher and somehow eventually found my way as the principal of the school. So I used to often say that I know exactly the kind of work that you are engaged in because I once did it, but I never got to teach or be a principal during a global pandemic. So I can't really say that anymore. But what I can say is that I've been able to support and journey with over 200 Catholic school teachers in the last couple of years during a global pandemic, right? So if that gives me any sort of credibility, I hope it does. But I always share this as a sense of fellowship, but also compassion and gratefulness for the work that you do day in, day out in our Catholic schools. As a way to formally kind of get to know each other, and I know it might be difficult for us to go through every single screen and give an introduction of who you are, I certainly still want to know very much who is in the space, in this virtual space. So if you don't mind sharing in the chat your name, the school in which you're currently teaching, leading in, or serving at, and the program of interest that's brought you to our session today. So if you could put that in the chat, that'd be very helpful. That will help me really tailor a presentation for all of you, since you'll be hearing from a number of programs within our Catholic school partnerships today. All right, so I see some schools that I recognize there. St. Robert Bellarmine, very cool. And then tell me just the program that you're interested in, and then certainly you'll hear about all of them, but this will kind of give me an idea of which ones I will be sharing a little bit more about. While you do that, I'll just go ahead and formally have a slide presentation. I always kind of, it is a barrier, even in a virtual space, where you see the slides instead of each, where we're able to see each other. But if I don't have a slide deck, I won't stay on track. So that's the one formality that I always apologetically offer, because I know that's what keeps me on task with you. So I hope that's okay. All right. Delia, I see you. Hopefully you can see my shared screen. Yes, very cool. So yes. Again, thank you, Delia. Thank you once again for joining our open house session for our Catholic education partnership programs here within the School of Ed, specifically in the Center for Catholic Education at Loyola Marymount University. I always think it's important that we should highlight the mission and goals of our Jesuit university in the Marymount tradition. So as you know, LMU is a Jesuit Catholic university, and we're grounded and guided by these three principles. The first one being the encouragement of lifelong learning and academic excellence, the education of the whole person, so really taking a holistic approach to your own teaching and learning as a Catholic school leader, teacher, or educator. And then lastly, the promotion of service and justice for all. So really these three guiding principles will also guide our programs within the School of Ed, but more importantly, it really creates a bridge in the work that we do to really see you as practitioners out in the field. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is very important to the work that we foster and strive to promote at Loyola Marymount University. But we also hope that it's something that's important to your own work as Catholic school educators. And we really strive to be a learning community that's committed to social justice. So that promotion of social justice is a guiding principle of the work that we do. And we try to do this by fostering a stronger understanding of social inequities, historical and systemic forms of racism and oppression. We strive to reduce institutional barriers for people of color and other marginalized groups. And then lastly, to foster an inclusive culture in which all faculty, staff, and students can reach their full potential. These are some of the program benefits that I like to highlight. And you'll find is that they're interwoven throughout the different programs I'll talk about today. Small class sizes is something that I think you value as an educator for multiple reasons. One is for those intimate relationships that you will build with your classmates and your professors, but also to give you the opportunity to fully be participatory in the work that you'll be doing within our coursework. Certainly, small class sizes connects you with an individualized attention. We offer a strong community of care, not only directly from your classmates, your professors, but also from our general LMU school community. You'll be taught by expert faculty who are practitioners in Catholic education, not only current Catholic school principals or teachers, but full-time faculty, tenured faculty who've been teaching in our programs for a very, very long time. So they certainly understand the work that you are engaged in as a Catholic school educator. In our teacher prep programs, we have direct fieldwork application of theory and practice in our pre-K to 12th grade schools. In LMU, we really strive to help you bridge theory and practice. But what we also do, an added layer and elements as Catholic school educators, we strive to help you build or bridge gospel and practice. The idea of bringing back what it is that you're learning on a continued basis in your coursework, and then bringing it back directly to your school through a faith-based lens. And then also another program benefit that I think stands us apart from other teacher prep programs or Catholic admin programs is that your coursework are either on Saturdays or evening classes, right? We understand that you wear multiple hats as Catholic school educators, so we are often finding ways to help you balance, have a good work-life balance, and then now, as a graduate student, like a third layer or an additional full-time role in your work in Catholic education. Here's a quick overview of the Catholic school educator programs that I'll be talking about today. Okay, the teaching programs are encompassed by the following: our Place Core program, which stands for Partners in Los Angeles Catholic Education. We'll be looking at our CAS program. That program is designed for current Catholic school teachers throughout the state of California to help you get either credentialed and or mastered. And then our certificate in inclusive education or inclusive teaching that was designed primarily to assist our Catholic school educators, provide inclusive learning environments for the students who are already at your school sites. And then I'll also be offering our administrative leadership programs. They are specifically made up of the following. We have our Catholic School Leadership Academy, which will help you obtain a certificate in Catholic school administration, which then can lead to our MA in educational leadership, right? So the idea of starting off with a Catholic school administrative lens, but working towards an MA in educational leadership and formation. And then lastly, our certificate in inclusive teaching, which you also saw within the teaching program bucket, is also designed for the Catholic school administrator, right? So it's not only is it designed to help the Catholic school teacher serve and provide inclusive teaching environments, it is designed to give that very specific understanding of the work your teachers will be doing if you are a Catholic school principal. So let's look at our teacher prep programs first. And then what I'll do, I'll talk about these individually. And then at the end, I'll give you an opportunity to ask specific questions in either of these two programs. Our Place Core and CAS program is a pathway to help you get credentialed and mastered. Our Place Core program is designed for aspiring Catholic school teachers. The typical placer is a recent undergraduate student who just finished obtaining their BA and is teaching to serve, is hoping to serve through teaching in a Catholic school, right? So it's designed for the aspiring Catholic school teacher who wants to provide service to the church through Catholic education. So what we do, my work as a director of the Place Core program is to help these aspiring Catholic school teachers find a placement within the Archdiocese of Los Angeles, Diocese of Orange, or San Bernardino. So my job is to find them a full-time teaching position. And while they're getting their teaching credential and their master's degree, our Place Corps fellows are also living in an intentional supportive community. So our placers live with other placers or other Catholic school teachers within the Place Corps program. And we typically house our placers in former convents. We're not preparing our placers for religious life, although many have gone on to become priests, religious sisters and brothers, but it's not designed for that. We just happen to be living in former convents. So our placers live in the communities in which we serve at or serve in. We're founded by these three pillars: professional development, community living, and faith formation. The professional development pillar can be seen through the placer's full-time employment as a Catholic school teacher and a full-time graduate student who is seeking their master's and teaching credential. Community living is that they live with other placers. They're not roommates. So we always emphasize that they're more than roommates. They are intentional community members. They have weekly dinners, weekly spirituality nights. They attend masses as groups. So we intentionally embed a faith formation aspect into the work so that they are able to not only grow as educators, but also gain a spiritual formation in their work as Catholic school teachers. The Place Corps program is designed in such a way that our fellows are able to leave the program debt-free. So we offer a very generous scholarship for our Place Corps fellows. They also receive a full-time teacher salary. And then if they follow the financial model that we have put together for them, they are able to leave the program after 2 years without accruing any additional debt. Also, what I like to think is my favorite or highlight of the program is that classes are online, both synchronous and asynchronous on Saturdays, right? So our placers are able to crawl out of bed on a Saturday morning, get in front of their computer, and then continue to engage in a very comprehensive and comprehensive program academic courses with their teachers or professors and their classmates. So nothing is compromised with the online platform. It continues to be very robust and comprehensive. Our CAS program, or our Catholic Archdiocesan School Teachers Program, is designed for current Catholic school teachers who are already serving in a Catholic school, and we're serving currently in 9 dioceses throughout the state of California. And they're teaching at a Catholic school without their teaching credential or their master's degree. We've designed it in such a way where our CAS teachers can get the credential alone, the master's alone, or the credential and the master's degree. About 98% of our CAS members, as we affectionately call them, or casters, are seeking both the credential and the master's degree, right? Like the Place Corps program, coursework is also online on Saturdays. I really want to stress that classes are not every single Saturday. Our fall and spring semesters are typically 16 weeks. So you only meet 9 or 10 times synchronously, which means you have to be behind your computer with your classmates and professors 9 or 10 times throughout that fall and spring semester. The other 5 or 6 times are done asynchronously. So you could be doing it, from Cancun or from wherever you are, right? I suppose you can even do a synchronous class from Cancun if you wanted to. But the whole idea is that it allows you to continue to do those extra things that our Catholic school teachers typically do throughout the week in the evenings, and then fully immerse yourself into your graduate studies on a Saturday. That first class is typically from 9:30 to noon, and your second class is from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., right? So that's a typical Saturday for a placer or caster. We also offer a very generous scholarship to our cast teachers And it ranges from partnership to partnership. We've been in the LA diocese since 2005. So we have many donors and benefactors who are invested in our teachers within Southern California. And we're just now growing our partnerships in Northern California. But all teachers within the CAS program receive a very generous scholarship. And although it might vary from area or from region to region, we assure all of our CAS teachers that they get a CAS scholarship. Here is a little bit about our certificate in inclusive education. This particular certificate was designed for the Catholic school teacher who perhaps already has a teaching credential, who already has a master's degree, but is seeking a higher level of professional development to serve all learners within our Catholic schools. It is important to recognize and acknowledge that our Catholic schools, although we don't formally identify our learners with diverse learning needs, we know we have diverse learners in our classrooms. We know that we have students with special needs in our Catholic school classroom, right? So the certificate in inclusive education was designed for that teacher that is currently in a Catholic school, but wants to make sure they are meeting the needs of all their learners, right? It provides you with the knowledge and skills to effectively educate students with disabilities in a PK to 12th grade general ed classroom, right? So this is not giving you a special ed credential, or it's not giving you a special ed certificate, but rather it's an inclusive certificate that will assist you to serve all learners within a general ed setting. The program is 1 year and is 15 semester graduate level units. The program typically starts in the fall and it goes to the following summer, right? So our next cohort will be forming in fall of 2023, and they'll be going through summer session 1 of 2024. So it's a total of 6 classes that you'll be taking. We've been very intentional about including a activity-based practicum at your current school site. So one of your final courses, or a course in your it'll be in your summer session 1 of 2024, you'll be engaging in a practicum at your school site to really apply and implement what you've learned throughout the entire academic year. What's also nice about the way this certificate has been designed is that it will allow you to apply some of these graduate level units to other MA programs within our School of Ed, right? So there is a way for you to use these certificate programs to then perhaps be used to obtain a Master of Arts degree. Like the Place Core and CAS program, it is an online cohort, which means you start with one group of students and you finish with the same group of students. This cohort model allows you to extend your network as a Catholic school educator, to create what I think are just very intimate relationships with those that you'll be embarking on this journey as a graduate level student. But also it will allow you to learn from those same practitioners who are doing very similar work in other Catholic schools, right? One of the things that I've learned in my years, almost 20 years now in Catholic education, is that if you've seen one Catholic school, you've seen one Catholic school, right? We're all we share obviously a very Christ-centered charism, but we're very unique in the ways that we function as individual Catholic schools. I humbly and honestly think that this certificate unites all of our Catholic schools in the work that we're striving to do to build inclusive classrooms. The scholarship ranges for this particular certificate could go between 20 to 40%. There are some additional funds for our teachers within the LA area, and I'll talk a little bit more about that at the conclusion of all this, because I think that same sentiment applies to all of our programs. But the certificate in inclusive teaching is also throughout the state of California, is not designed specifically for our LA Archdiocese. So now let's go into our certificate in Catholic school administration. Now, I'm going to say this about every program. I think all of our programs are amazing. I forgot to mention this. I'm a proud graduate of CAST Cohort 2. We're now recruiting for CAST Cohort 36. So it shows you how long we've been around. So it's a program that has been impacting Catholic school educators' lives for the last 17 years. Our certificate in Catholic school administration, I'm also a proud graduate of our CSLA, or Catholic School Leadership Academy, is also another firm and stable program that has been impacting and promoting faith formation within our leadership ranks in Catholic schools for the last 15 years, right? Our certificate in Catholic school administration is mission focused. It has an emphasis on organizational and instructional leadership. So your coursework throughout that 1 year, throughout those 10 semester graduate level units, will be focused on these 3 areas. It supports our Catholic school educators who are interested in moving into Catholic school administration. So it's not only designed for current principals, but any of our Catholic school educators who are interested in pursuing Catholic school administration. But if you are currently a principal, you're going to get a lot through this program, right? You're going to continue to build and foster that sense of mission-focused formation in your work, but also being able to take that back onto your school sites and share it with your faculty and staff. The certificate program is 10 semester graduate level units. It typically starts in summer 2. So for the next cohort, we'll be starting in summer of 2024. And they'll go through the spring, summer of 2023. And they'll go through the spring of 2024. We have online and hybrid cohorts available. So there is a hybrid in-person element to our certificate in Catholic school administration. We have people from many dioceses throughout California and also throughout the United States, right? So you'll be taking courses with Catholic school leaders throughout the U.S. The coursework that you'll be taking within our certificate in Catholic school admin will apply to optional, MA in educational leadership. So you don't have to continue on to it, but many of our Catholic school admin fellows do. They continue on and just get their MA in educational leadership as well. It would be 21 additional graduate level units. All of our certificate and Catholic school administration candidates are guaranteed a minimum 40% scholarship. Once you're done with our Catholic school Leadership Academy or administration certificate, you may decide to continue on and get your MA in educational leadership, right? Through this particular track, you receive a rigorous curriculum, and it includes obviously Catholic school history, mission, law, ethics, budget, finance, operations, marketing, fundraising, admissions, personal management, curriculum, and instruction. I like to read that bullet point out loud because it kind of gives a sense of just, for me, of amazingness to our Catholic school leaders who do all these things, right? Not only are they your instructional leader, they're your finance leader, they're your catechetical leader. This program kind of helps you emphasize all those elements of what a Catholic school principal already does. Our MA in educational leadership is also offered through online coursework, and you continue to receive a Catholic educator scholarship. Our program director for both the MA in educational leadership and then also our our certificate in Catholic school administration is Dr. Lauren Casella. Here are some of our general admission requirements. In all of our certificate and MA programs in Catholic schools, you will have to complete a personal statement of intent. You will be needing to provide your official transcripts from all colleges and universities that you've attended. Some programs like the Place Corps and the MA in Educational Leadership and Certificate in Admin have two to three letters of rec. The CAS program has one letter of recommendation that we typically look for from your principal. You will need to provide a current resume so we see the work that you are engaged in currently as a Catholic school educator. And there is an interview component. The CAS program doesn't have an interview, but the Certificate in Leadership, Catholic School Leadership, and the Place Corps program does have an interview as part of that general admission requirements. If you'll be seeking a credential through our Place Corps or CAS program, these are some of the credential program requirements. Okay. You don't need these for admission, but you will need these upon acceptance. Certificate of clearance. California basic skills is typically through our CBAS, but there's other ways of now meeting our basic skills requirement. The U.S. Constitution requirement. If you went to a Cal State school, you've already met that requirement. And then lastly, the subject matter competency requirement. Typically, it was met through the CSET. Now there's other ways of meeting subject matter requirement. And I'll be able to share some of those ones. I have all of you in front of me on the screen. Here's some quick tuition and financial aid. Before you, get a little nervous and you see that amount on the screen for the 2022-2023 academic year, that is the current per unit amount without any scholarship. So if you woke up tomorrow and said, I want to go to LMU and get a master's in education or get a certificate, right? And without any sort of support, it would be $1,462 per unit. But as a candidate in any of our Catholic school programs or Catholic school teacher prep programs, certificates in administration, you will receive a generous scholarship. So that per unit will go down. That per unit amount will go down. There will be a financial aid open house session after this session at 6 p.m. I do encourage you to all, if you're going to pursue any of our programs, to complete the FAFSA application. It's very different from when we completed it as undergraduates. FAFSA for graduate students is typically in forms of loans. But I would recommend highly that you apply for it, even if you're not planning on using it. All right, because there's many opportunities that sometimes come up for different scholarships, and the FAFSA application is what we look at to determine financial needs. So even if you don't plan on using it, we recommend that you complete it. These are some upcoming specialized information sessions for our CAST LA and our CAST NorCal programs, and also our Inclusive Ed certificate programs. Most importantly, I invite you guys to visit this link so that you're able to register or RSVP for them. What I'll do once I stop sharing my screen, I'll drop that link onto the chat so that you're able to access it. Even though you've attended our open house session, I highly recommend that you attend one of our individual info sessions so that you get more information about the more details about these different programs that I'm generally talking about today, okay? So there's more. There's more we'd love to share with you. So please don't let this be the only time you come to learn more about our Catholic teacher prep and leadership programs. We're anxious and willing and can't wait to tell you more about the great work that we're doing. Here are the other open house sessions for tonight. So financial aid will have a session. Our graduate students of LMU or GSLMU is our student org for our graduate students. We'll be sharing about the work they do. And then if you're an international student, please join our 7 p.m. session so that you learn more about that process, which is slightly different. Okay. We hope you stay in touch. These are the people that will be able to help you and anything about our programs. But if you want individual If you have individual questions about either the Catholic School Admin Certificate, Place Corps, or CAST, you may reach out to any of these individuals. Mary Fraser is our Director of Admissions for the School of Ed. So you're also able to reach out to her if you have any application questions. But please know that we're all here and available to assist you in answering any of your questions. And if you had or wanted information about other programs I did not talk about, you may certainly email at soeinfo@lmu.edu. All right. Now I'm going to stop sharing so I get to see your beautiful smiles. Those of you that are sharing it, if you're not sharing it, I get to see your beautiful names on the screen too. That's always cool. Cool. So I'm here to answer any questions you have. We do have another 27 minutes together before your next session, and I'm happy to stay as long as I need to help answer any of your questions. If you feel you have any specific questions that are to you, feel free to send me a personal message or direct message in the chat so that we're able to I'm able to follow up with you and answer any of those questions. But I'm here for you. I see some familiar faces. Hi, Sulema. Good to see you. Seems like you're back for more. I like hearing that. And I'm here to be of your service. Marisela, I see your question. Is this program different from the other education programs, or do they work combined? So Marisela, that's a great question, actually. For Place Corps and CAST, for example, those are Catholic teaching preparation programs specific to the credential and the master's degree. The academic program that we take is our MA in Urban Education. So you'll walk away with a master's in urban education, and your credential is a public school credential. So it's a preliminary credential for the state of California. So it's a program, when you're under Place or CAST, it's specific with other Catholic school teachers that you'll be taking courses with. So it's a cohort program, but it's the academic program that's also offered to our Teach for America fellows, is also offered to our other partnerships in the public school sector, both traditional public and also charter public partnerships, is the exact same academic program. The difference that when you're taking it under Place Corps or CAST, that you are taking it with other Catholic school educators so that you're able to have conversations that are specific to your context as a Catholic school teacher in our Catholic schools. The Catholic school admin program is specific to Catholic school aspiring principals and current principals. And our certificate in inclusive education, although there are elements that are specific to Catholic schools, teachers and educators and principals, it is also designed for someone in a non-Catholic school context or setting, right? Hopefully, Marisela, that helps a little bit. Isabel, I see your question. It's a great question. So all of our CAST teachers, they get a base scholarship. Do we have any teachers in this setting that are interested in CAST, but in our North Cal partnership? That means not in the Archdiocese of LA. Are there anyone here outside of LA? Because it ranges from region to region. So even within our own Archdiocese of LA, Isabel, we have some differences. All of our CAST teachers in our Archdiocese of LA get a base scholarship of 60%. If you're teaching at a school that is within LAUSD boundaries, so there's 260 schools in the Archdiocese of LA, and about 115 of them, give or take, are within LAUSD boundaries. Those teachers may qualify for additional funds after their first semester. So after they spend one semester with us, then you may apply for those additional funds if you are within those LAUSD boundaries. That will make sense for someone, like for example, if you're teaching in Downey, you would not be within LAUSD boundaries because Downey has their own unified district, but you are within the Archdiocese of LA. But if you're teaching, let's say, for example, in a school in South Los Angeles that might be within LAUSD boundaries, that would qualify you for that potential additional 10 to 20%. So that will be on top of that 60% you are already receiving. So everyone gets that base scholarship in the Archdiocese of LA. It's slightly different in our NorCal partnerships because remember, we've been around longer in LA, so we're still building and those benefactor connections up north. So we hope to then have our Northern California CAS partnership also be at the same level as our Southern California. Hopefully that helped you, Isabel, a little bit.
Yes, thank you.
Very welcome. So I'm just going to the chat to see if I missed any questions. San Miguel School is, I think, in Watts, Isabel? Yeah, very cool. I'm not sure if it's within LAUSD or do they have their own district, but I can always check for you as well. Any other questions? Brady, thank you for that. I see that. I'm happy to help answer any questions once you're ready. So St. Francis, very cool. I think so, Suleyma. I think so. We partner very closely with CAP. In fact, at the last CAP presentation, Dr. Lauren Casella, who is the director of our Catholic School Leadership Certificate, was presenting at the CAP presentation. So I think it certainly will make you more. You used the word marketable, which I like. It's important, as a potential applicant. But even more important than that, it'll prepare you more, Suleyma, to do the work once you are in a Catholic school leadership position. It will certainly give you the foundational principles and aspects that you need in doing Catholic school leadership. So I think certainly, I feel confident that it will assist you. Very cool. All right. Just by a show of little reactions on the screen with the emojis. Anyone here interested in learning more about Place Corps? There's so much more I can talk about our Place Corps program. Anyone interested in Place Corps? All right. Any other casters that are interested in cast? So that's the case. I could certainly spend a little bit more time on cast. All right, Elizabeth, very cool. I think, Elizabeth, you are at Cathedral Chapel. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, with Danielle and Tina, perhaps. Yeah.
Yes, Tina and Danielle Mitchell.
Very cool. Yeah, two exceptional principals. Very cool.
You really are. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, awesome, you guys. Suleyma, I know that you're participating here, wanting to learn more about our other programs, but you're a graduate of our CAS program. So I could obviously talk amazing things about how great our CAS program is as a graduate, and then now, as a director of it. But hopefully, you've had a good experience. I know that we've been able to engage consistently. So the fact that you're here, hopefully, is a good sign. But for those of you, I'm going to humbly ask that you continue to also help spread the word about these programs. We hope that you become our ambassadors as well. Something that I think our Catholic schools do really well is, word of mouth is very, very a good marketing tool in the work that we do. But also feel free to share my contact info for anyone who's interested in learning more about these programs. And then you also saw the contact info from my colleague, Dr. Lauren Casella, and then also Clementine Castro, so that they will be able to assist you with more information. But I will stick around. I'm happy to continue to help. I'll stop recording in case you have other more specific questions. Thank you.